What's up, guys? Jordan here from Show Me Vegas, and I'm on the Las Vegas Strip, or at least what's left of it. Hey, unless you've been hiding under a rock somewhere for the last year, you know F1 is coming to the Las Vegas Strip. The Las Vegas Grand Prix is in less than 2 weeks, and the Strip has been an absolute disaster ever since preparations began. Just how much is this going to affect your trip if you're here this year or in future years when this race is about to take place? That's what I hope to find out in this video. All right, I'm out here in front of Planet Hollywood, which is near the intersection of Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon. If you know the F1 track, you know it comes down Las Vegas Boulevard and then turns east on Harmon here. So let's start here at this corner and head north. So this is the corner of Harmon and Las Vegas Boulevard. This is where the track makes that left turn onto Harmon. Light stands and barricades all over the place. So this is the pedestrian bridge from Planet Hollywood across to Cosmopolitan. You can see not only have they obstructed the view through the glass, but they've built this netting over the top of it. Presumably that's for the safety of both pedestrians and drivers. This way people don't loiter up here and nobody can throw anything onto the racetrack that might be dangerous. Alright, so I'm over here now next to the Bellagio Fountains, which I think everybody would pretty much agree is the front yard of the Las Vegas Strip. This is where people really first started getting angry about this. They cut down those trees and closed that sidewalk over there almost 2 months ago, more than 2 months before the race. So you can no longer walk in front of the fountains. You can't view the fountains from the front. If you want to see them now, you either need to be on the other side of the street up at elevation, or you've got to come over here in front of the Bellagio to see them. Also, if you're walking the Strip, you have to come all the way into the Bellagio, through the Bellagio, and then out the other side to get back out onto the Strip. I think one thing F1 has done is helped a lot of people discover this spot right over here. I'm not sure a lot of people knew this actually existed until this became one of the only places you could see the fountains from up close. Right below me here you can see the sidewalk along Bellagio Drive where they've got it fenced off. You can come out to right there and watch the fountains from the back side. Not as good as seeing them from the original sidewalk, but not too bad. So this is the view from the sidewalk. It's not a bad view of the fountains, but it is a bad view overall because look at that ugly monstrosity built out over the water. As I cut through the Bellagio here to get back out to the Strip on the other side, let's talk a little bit about the F1 setup. Local leaders like the Clark County Commission and F1 themselves were pretty tight-lipped about how long this was all going to take. If you've been following this, you know the repaving started more than 6 months ago. That's not going to have to be done every single year. But the grandstands, the barricades, the lights, all that stuff has to be put up on an annual basis. People have been saying, oh, in future years it won't take nearly as long, but how do we know that? I guess we're going to have to wait until next year to find out. The glass is going to get in the way a little bit, but here's a good up-close look at the back of the Bellagio grandstands. Now we're on the pedestrian walkway from Bellagio across to Horseshoe, and as you can see, once again, same thing. They've got the screens, and they have the netting. You can see through this a little bit, definitely during the day, but I'm sure that's not going to be nearly as good at night. That's the idea. The race starts at 10 p.m. Here we are now in front of the Horseshoe. Bellagio grandstands from the opposite side of the street. VIP luxury boxes in the middle. And a very obstructed view of the Bellagio. So this is between Cromwell and Horseshoe, and I just realized what these barricades are for. This is to keep people from going up to the glass and peeling off that protective film. People were doing that already, and this is how they're going to prevent that in the future. The view over here in front of Caesar's Palace is mostly just lights. All right, heading up the east side of the Strip. Not a whole lot to see on this stretch, but there are huge grandstands in front of the Mirage where the volcano is, or soon will used to be. That didn't make any sense. You know, I didn't really consider how much walking was going to be involved in this vlog, so I'm going to stop in one of my favorite pizza places here. Pizza Cake by Buddy Belastro. Fuel up before we head up north. Buddy V's pizza is not cheap. $8.30 for that slice of Spicy Supreme, but the Modelo was $5, so that kind of balances it out. All right, I'm fueled up, ready to go. Let's go check out some more F1 setups. So how's this race going to impact you if you're not here on F1 weekend? Well, as you've seen, the setup is taking a long time. Teardown's going to take a long time as well, so traffic is absolutely a nightmare in Vegas right now. As a matter of fact, I talked to my Uber driver earlier today, and he wasn't the biggest fan, as you might expect. It's caused all sorts of problems for his business, and his biggest issue with it was it's all this trouble for a race that he can't even afford to attend. You know what, just to show you that I am open-minded somewhat about this, I gotta say, these grandstands here in front of the Mirage are pretty cool looking. So I'm up here at the Venetian now, and if you hear banging, it's because they're working on this hospitality structure in front of the Grand Canals. It was in the news recently that they had to drain the canals in order to build this thing. If that's true, they've already put water back in it, because you can definitely see water underneath this thing, and the level looks pretty normal. How much is it going to cost to be inside this tent? Who knows? And how much of the race are they going to be able to see? Well, the cars will have just taken a left turn on Las Vegas Boulevard and will go shooting down that way at a high rate of speed. I'm not going to catch a whole lot of action from this spot. All right, so now I'm nearing the northern end of the Las Vegas Boulevard straightaway. Not a true straightaway, as we know the Strip bends right there about the Mirage. So this is the pedestrian bridge over Sands Avenue from the Palazzo over to the Wynn. Cars are going to be coming around the Sphere and coming this way, headed out onto the boulevard. You can see they've already got the barricades up out there and the fencing. The lights are all in place and ready to go. All right, so I've made it all the way up here to the Wynn, and we've seen the entirety of the track from south to north on the Las Vegas Strip, at least. Definitely an eyesore. Let's face it, it's hideous, and it's been impacting the Strip for months now, and it probably is another month to a month and a half away from being gone. How is it going to impact your trip? Well, it depends on how much the optics of the Las Vegas Strip mean to you. If the fountains are a big deal to you, if strolling down the sidewalk is a big deal to you, then don't come while this is going on. Otherwise, the impact is mostly just going to be traffic, unless, of course, you're here on race weekend, which I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be here on race weekend unless I was going to the race. As for me, I'm absolutely beat with all that walking. I had to get back to my hotel and take a load off. Thanks for coming along on this today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you get notified anytime we upload new content. Hey, thanks as always for watching. We'll see you in the next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas.